ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਐਵਰੀ 2 ਵੀਕਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਟੀਵੀ ਚੈਨਲ ਫਿਲਾਡੈਲਫੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਫੀਲਡ 'ਚ ਗੈਸਟ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ। ਮੇਰਾ ਗੋਲ ਇਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਲਪਸ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਸ, ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਇਨਸੈਂਟਿਵਸ ਫਾਰ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ, ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹਾਊ ਟੂ ਗੈਟ ਦਾ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਇਨਸੈਂਟਿਵਸ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਦ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਗ੍ਰਾਂਟਸ ਆਰ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੈਪਟ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫਾਈਂਡ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਨੌਲੇਜ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਬ੍ਰਾਇੰਟ ਵੌਂਗ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੈਂਪੇਰ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ starting with the Bryant Wong. So first, tell me something about you. ਆਪਣੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਦੱਸੋਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ? ਹਾਂਜੀ।
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Wong. I am a teacher and a dean of curriculum and students by trade in a school in Philadelphia. My major is in mathematics for teaching, as well as social studies, which includes business, finance, history, economics, psychology, sociology, and so forth. There's a lot of topics underneath history and social studies as a teacher. On my volunteer time, I do work with the AAPI community, the Asian American Pacific Islanders, through the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation. During the pandemic, we not only help nonprofit organizations of AAPI, but also help the small grocery stores within the Asian community to secure funding during the pandemic. Since a lot of our Asian businesses was hurt during the pandemic, we as a group, along with CMAC, with the Southeast Asian Coalition, we actually help a lot of our small businesses, especially the restaurants and grocery stores, to maintain during the pandemic. Yes, we did had some that were closed, but we were able to retain majority of them to stay open. So what I would like to do today is to talk about my goal and objective today is actually to help the AAPI community, because it is Asian American Pacific Islander month of May, to help the small businesses grow within our community, because it's important. We are still hurting from the pandemic because of racism a little bit, as well as other factors. But majority of it comes from the pandemic, and we want to continue to become strong.
That's good. So you want to share the screen? You have some kind of
Yes, I'm
slideshow?
gonna share my. Yep.
Yeah. Let's start with your some screen shares, slide share. So then we can ask the next question after that.
Okay. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about grants and resources for AAPI business owners. I did receive a chat regarding to nonprofit. Yes, I also was part of an Asian Mosaic Funds, which we actually provide nonprofit organizations who have members of AAPI board or serve the AAPI community. We actually have grants. Our grant cycle closed right now, but in the beginning of around January, our grants are open every January for nonprofit Asian organizations to receive anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000, depending on number one, how much we are able to gather for the funds, and to divvy it out equally among the winners, which will be placed. So that's one of the ways of nonprofits can receive money for AAPI community is through the Asian Mosaic Fund. And also I could actually talk about a little bit more about nonprofits later on. But I just want to mention that AMF is one of the good resources for starting a nonprofit AAPI organization.
Okay.
We could start with this one, grants. So what is a grant? A lot of people get confused sometimes between grants and loans. A grant is not a loan. A grant is actually money given by the federal government or private organizations So a grant money is nothing that it needs to be returned to. You don't need to pay it back. However, grants are to be used according to what is the grant for. For example, if you receive money to pay your employees, you must use that money to pay the employees. You cannot use it to use it for your personal or to buy property or anything else. So if you receive a grant money to pay employees, you use that grant money to pay employees. We don't want you to. But best advice is not to use the money for anything else other than what the grant is for, because you may receive more. You may receive again the following year. So you want to be careful, because they're going to ask, oh, did you use all the money to pay your employees? We want to see a record of that, or we want to see a picture or something that the money is being used for that specific area. So these funders, whether they're government or private, they want to see you using the money that they give for that specific situation. So if you use it to buy property, well, they want to know what property did you buy with the grant money we've given you. So you want to make sure that is very important. That's a big, huge difference between a grant and a loan. A loan is that you have to pay it back, and a loan you can use whatever the money you could use for. And mostly loans are either provided by the government or by a bank. Grants are normally given by the federal government, state government, city government, or private organizations. So I just wanted to let you know about that. Some of the private organizations are banks too. So we do receive grants for nonprofits through banks, through foundations. So TD Bank has a foundation. Wells Fargo has a foundation. A lot of these foundations you can apply for. If you have an AAPI nonprofit, you can actually go to a bank, one of the larger banks, and look up the foundation and see if you qualify. TD Bank loves to give money to AAPI communities as long as it serves the community and it's non-religious. A lot of the banks have the stipulation that cannot be non-religious. But if you serve the AAPI community, they will love to give you the grant money. Wells Fargo is a big supporter of the Asian Mosaic Fund. We receive a lot of money from Wells Fargo, even though we serve the Asian community a lot. Wells Fargo is able to provide us funding to give out to the Asian community. So Wells Fargo is a great resource. I actually know the contact for Wells Fargo who could help to grant. He's also an API community member. I have his name in contact. If you want to reach out to me, I could give that to you privately one-on-one for this person's name. So the first grant funding I want to give you is what we call the USA funding applications. If you click on it, I can show you what it is. So the USA funding application is a resource for all where funds can be, whether it is from the federal government or private. So it gives you both areas. And it gives you to different areas. It gives you community, business, education, all areas. This is a great resource for getting grants and funds. There is a registration cost for this, and the registration cost is only $29.95. So it's $29.95 for all applications. And if you don't receive anything, you get the money back. So this is one way of applying for a grant. Yes, it costs a little bit, but at the same time, you're going to get anywhere between $2,500 to $25,000, depending on the grant you apply for and depending on the need. So like I said, grants are based on the application, the need, and whether or not it's given to you through that. So when you apply, you want to make sure you fill all the information truthfully, so that it can be reviewed and you can receive the money that you get and what's going to be money used for. So that's a great way for looking for anywhere. If you're looking for a startup, this is a great place to do a startup as well. USA funding applications, and the registration cost is only $29.95.
All right, thank you. Next.
Yes, this one's a big one. Main Street America partner with American Express. This one is every year. This one normally opens around March of every year, and it's go for AAPI businesses. So this is AAPI specific. We actually get a lot of grantors for this. It's sponsored by American Express, and once again, it goes from anywhere between $2,500 to also $25,000. And it goes out to the small businesses who are Main Street. They want to support as many Main Street minority businesses as possible. So this is one application that you can fill for, and its application is pretty much free. So this is a free application you can apply for, and you could, like I said, fill out the application, how much money you need, and what it's going to be used for. Those are the type of questions they normally ask. So that's what it is. And they're also going to ask for revenue and all that stuff, just because they want to see how they can help you to make your business grow. And that is the Main Street America, partnered by American Express. They love to work with minority businesses. So I encourage AAPI especially to apply for American Express. This is a big one. It's free, and it could help. And then also, if you want to start out a business, this is another one you can start out with too. So, AAPI resources. This website provides you all information on AAPI business resources. This helps you to help an AAPI, a new business AAPI owner, start a business with all the resources and networks, as well as other grants that are available and funding. Those other two were listed on the AAPI business resource, but there's also another one that's AAPI specific. But I don't know if that's still going to be running or not, because I haven't. It is sponsored. One of Philadelphia Chinatown Corporation is one of the partners on this one, but I haven't heard if we're able to continue the one type of grant. That's why I didn't share it, because we were unsure whether or not we're still going to be with the pandemic funding or not. So we're in talks, and I will get that back to you once I figure out more information from the Philadelphia Chinatown Corporation, whether or not we're going to continue with that fund or not. But the other funding are all available, especially American Express. That one's all available for resource, and as well as any networks as well. That would be helpful for anybody who wants to start, or any AAPI business owner. It's a great resource tool. One network that I strongly encourage AAPI business owners, especially the Southeast Asians, because we don't have enough of them in this, is the Asian American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia. Yes, there's a yearly membership fee. The yearly membership fee is about $100. And up, depending on what kind of membership level, but the basic membership level is $100. And I would like to see more of South and Southeast Asians in this. Primarily, all of our members are Chinese, Japanese, Korean, but we want to export. I would like to see this grow to all Asians, to represent Asian Americans. So I'm trying to encourage business owners to be a part of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce, because it is a great way to network with the grantors in the AAPI community. These are like, for example, Asian Bank. They're members of this. Asian Bank is located in Chinatown, but they pertain to Asian Americans. They are Asian, or Asians in general. So this is an area of networking with other business owners, as well as the grantors and funders. So that's the network. Right, the current website is down currently, but they can be reached on LinkedIn, and I put on the LinkedIn link there. And like I said, it's a great way of networking with the AAPI community funders.
All right, thank you. That's gonna stop the slide share. And
okay. And also one more. I forgot there was a slide on the PA small business resource for business minority business. These are resources. Once again, if you want to start a business in the state of PA, this is a great resource to help, especially if you're a minority business owner, to start out how to approach a new business, as well as how to get funding if you're a current business owner, how to get also more funding and for your business.
Yes, please share that information also in our group, so we can share with everyone. That's our goal, is to have everyone has some more awareness to grow the business. And we have Swaranjit Singh Sampher. Sunny, he's also manager with the WFG. He's growing his business here for last 4 or 5 years with the insurance and every kind of. He's also like he will explain to more about his business some details. So I will ask Swaranjit Singh, Sunny, to give some details about him, your businesses. Yes.
Thank you. So good evening, everybody, and welcome. Mr. Wong, thanks again for those very much needed information, especially in the Asian community. And when you talk about nonprofit organizations, which we're all a part of, me, myself, I'm a part of the Guru Nanak Sikh Society, and like Mr. Jim Bulla, we're all as a one, as a unity. And it's very important that we, instead of, nonprofit organizations are usually run is funded by donations and that type of curriculum. And when we talk about non-funding, I actually worked with a really good group just recently, and it's still in progress. We were getting ready with a electrical, one of those, the chairs that goes up and down the stairs for the people, elderly people, handicapped people. And I was privileged enough to work with a really good group. And when you go to the right people and the proper way of using those funds, it works wonders. As long as you're doing what you said you're going to do and do it in an orderly fashion, it's a relationship that goes year in, year out. So absolutely right. And definitely do share that information that you have, because this is something that's very much needed in our community. Because if we can work all together, especially where we're at, Upper Darby, it's always been a community of different nationalities, different religions, different races, which we it's a beautiful thing, believe it or not. We have a lot of Greeks, we have a lot of Asians, we have now a lot of Bengali communities, but Upper Darby was always diverse, but that diversity never came to work together and uplift the whole, make it better for everybody. So our people are definitely working on that. And I was privileged enough to work with a group that, we're almost being, hopefully with the grace of God, funding about $13,000 for the stair chair, and they're definitely looking into it. But again, your details, all your information is very, if we look at it from a different angle, from your angle, let's say, if we basically help others, God will then help you, if that's what, if I can connect with that way. But again, Mr. Wong, thank you for sharing that. But a little bit about business, and as we're Asians, we all like business. I was born here. Maybe some people came as a second or first generation, but business is something. What is business? What if we define business? What is business? A lot of our people still never understood that. And if I ask you, what my family did, they were very highly educated in the medical side. And then you look about what businesses we did. We did every business that probably you could think of. We did Mexican bars, real estate, Indian groceries, American groceries, Indian restaurants, a pharmacy. Okay. We were even fortunate enough to start, my father started a nonprofit organization, which is the Guru Nanak Sikh Society, alongside with Mr. Bulla's family. Okay. And if you look at it this way, nonprofit organization is considered a business. Why? Because there's funding and then there's management. When you put funding and management together, it has to go alongside. You see, so somebody's held responsible. A lot of people do take advantage of it, it's the sad part of this. It's the sad part of these gatherings and institutions. But when we talk about business, what is the definition of business? We like to say I'm running a business, like the ones I mentioned to you, what my family did. A business is something that's self-funded and then self-running. You put in your time, maybe 3 to 5 years, and then you don't have to be there. Why? It's running by itself. It's on a system. The company that I work with is World Financial Group. Maybe some of you heard it, but a lot of people did hear it. A lot of people never understood it. What are you getting yourself? It's a system, okay? And then you want to look at, what am I doing, and who are the people and companies that I'm working with? Are they reputable? Are they successful? Are they profitable? How long have they been there? A lot of our Asian people, are afraid to even think about something like that because they're afraid of what happened back home, whether it's North Korea, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, because a lot of our people are in scams. You know, the banking system in India, not saying anything bad, but people don't trust them. And then they go towards FDs, fixed deposits. They're happy if they get their money back in 10 years. The banking is all one line. So if they all go under, basically, guess what? The money that you invested is gone. You see what I mean? But the people, our people, Asian people, knew how to make money. They did not know how to invest it. We were hard, there's nobody harder working than Asian people. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
You know, they work, especially the when I look at some the North Korean community, South Korean, I think it's a South Korean community. They work until their belief is, you know, if you're 100 or 90 or 80 and you can still move, you're going to still work. Why? Because they utilize it. They always think positive, you know, and that's a good thing. A lot of people, if you look at mainstream America, they're stuck on retirement. They want to retire. Maybe they have something in place, but our people, you know, we work for money. We never understood how money could work for you. You know, if you look at Bill Gates, if you look at Jeff Bezos, if you look at Steve Jobs, they all started out from a garage. And guess what? They're not, you know, Steve Jobs is not here. His family is probably still receiving royalties for the rest of their life. Now, a business is self-funded, self-running. You put in your hard work and time, and then you're not putting in any more investment. If we take, for example, trucking, a lot of Punjabis like trucking. How can you double or triple your income? Anybody want to answer that?
Hanji, I would like to say,
Sure.
any kind of business, now, when you want to be develop or you want to be a progress, you know, there are so many ways and depend on the business, you know. I will like just example, you know, like a motor business in the America, you know, I heard about that. It's 70% hotel models are occupied by the Gujarati, and out of that, 80% are Patel only. Right? How they grow? Because I have last year up to 10 years, 15 to 22, I had small hotel, you know, and I know a little bit about that, you know. What they do in a business, they run any hotel like 50 rooms. They start from like that, depend on their money and other things, you know. But average, you can say 50, 75 rooms, you know. They run all that hotel 80% with their own family, you know, members, you know, like front desk, you know, and main, they do their own. Even some of them in the beginning do the housekeeping too. And for the technical, if they know something, otherwise they hire a handyman like that, you know, they do like that, you know. And after 2 to 5 years, you know, if they have loan on the hotel motel, you know, so whenever there's going to be a finish nearby, so they know each and everything about the motel, you know. What they do after 2 3 years, they start. One of the Gujarati family, they put in their hotel for work like housekeeping, other small maintenance, or if they are well educated or something like that, they put in a front desk too. And next 3 years, you know, they make them train. And that family who's working over there, they get money because they are not paying rent, they are not paying bill, they are getting little money and they save the money, you know. And after 3 4 5 years, the owner of the motel, uh, you know, propose them, or if you want to be do this business, you know, they give it on the lease or sell whatever condition. And the owner of that hotel, he buy the other hotel of 100 and 200 rooms that like that. Every 5 years, they are doing like this. In the same with the gas station business, I have find out some of the people I know very well. They are doing the this business, gas station business. You know, so like that. If you want to grow your income, first you have to mastery that business. ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨਾ ਪੱਕਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ 4 ਪੈਸੇ ਬਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਣ, and you can have other one like a truck business. Which first you have to be go as a driver. put in your mind. The saal, 1 or 2 years you do as a job, learn everything A to Z. What the business is that, and after 2 years, 3 years, you can get a small truck, old truck, and join with the other big companies. Then you have after 2 years the second truck, third truck, like that. Because I did a taxi line in India, the same they do that. Start from the one taxi or even driver. There's after some time they have their own business. So first, number one, you have to job on that business first. That is more important. If you direct go to the business owner, you won't learn so many things. So you have to be, for learning a point of view, get job 1 year, 2 year, whatever you want to be. Second, after that, then you have your own business, get it on lease or buy it. It depends on. And third, every time you have to be a joint family maximum to work in that business. Then you will earn more. Little example I give. My son-in-law has 10 years before 10 hotels in Florida, 10 hotels. But unluckily, I explain him so many times because he don't understand me. And after 10 years, he lost all the business. There's a different, story like that. But you have to control your own business. Like a business property, renting property, I had 2 rented properties. One I live and 2 I gave to the rented. That every 5-6 years I have new one, like that. So in this long term, in my old age, I have 3 to 5, 6, 7,000 income from the renting. It depends on how you work. So there are so many ways, to do like this. Because I don't have much time, I want to give time to the other people too. But in personal, anybody want to learn details, I can give more knowledge in deep. I have knowledge about the storage, about the motels, grocery store, even little transportation, restaurant. Some of this business I did in America. And you wearing the glasses, I have complete knowledge of the glasses, from testing to make the glass. I know all these things. I learned in India. So I have much experience about the business. Personally, anybody want to more learn, I can give them guidance in proper way, in a proper channel. Thank you very much. So nice.
I thank you. So
I like to share too something. The Jasveer.
okay, I have Mr. Tandi. He also asked, has some want to share something. Yes, go ahead, Tandi.
You see,
Can
according
you
to
share
my
your video also while we're talking?
yeah. So according to my experience in the business, with the working with the big company, as I learned something, because it's non-profit business and the business. What is the difference? Non-profit business. Business means finally the spend the $1, get the 1/10 out. No matter how many times you spend the $1, and end of the year, every dollar you spend, make sure get the 1/10 out. Like a non-profit business, if you spend the $1, make sure your dollar stay as $1. Do not lose, do not gain nothing. So no matter what kind of business you open, but our focus is spend the $1, get the 1/10 out. That is all the game I know about the business. So business means make the money. Which business doesn't make the money, you cannot call that business. Which is non-profit. The organization does not stay on the same asset. This means if asset goes down, and the organization is going to be closed one day.
Yeah.
So business means make a money, and organized means the non-profit organization means stay on the same level. That's what we have to find a way how to keep business grow, and how to keep a non-profit organized on the same level with the increase, because assess people funding to putting money in the organization on the raising by the peoples, not from the profit.
Okay. All right.
So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to go back to Mr. Bryant Wong. So can you a little bit more explain about what we were talking about starting the business? You already explained a little bit more, some more details. Suppose I want to like a starting from the small business. I want to start that one. So by your experience, how much you already told me you can't get more than 25,000. If somebody want more than that grant, so is any possibility? Is any other ways?
Yes, you can apply for more than one. The grants are, like I said, grants are, you can apply to many grants as you can, and then you get and then if you qualify, you qualify, and you get the money, you apply for as many grants as you can. A lot of nonprofit, this is how nonprofit works. Nonprofits apply to a lot of grants. Asian Mosaic Fund, when I was with them, we applied to maybe 10 different grants. Because we keep on applying, and eventually we're going to hit. We probably got past 50%. So 50% that we apply to, we receive. So you're going to have to keep on applying. You're going to have to, if you're going to start a new business, my always suggestion is making sure that you have an idea that you could run with. You always want to start with a good idea. I'm not a business owner. But my family has run a business for a very long time. My family has been doing it. We were restaurant owners as a family. We were we have done business consulting as a family. So we always have said that, my family always would say, if you're going to start your own business, make sure you have a good idea. And then you want to make sure that you have people who can help you fund it. Whether you start out with, finding grants or getting loans, or some way to start the ground up. So, you want to make sure that you also have of money for yourself to spend as well. So there has to be a balance on a lot of different levels. Like I said, I don't own a business right now, but I have in mind right now forming a nonprofit organization, which is going to be opening in school. We're going to have to apply for a lot of different grants. I'm applying for a lot of different grants to support a school. So, to open a charter school in Philadelphia, you're going to need a lot of grants. That's it. That's how it works. I'm applying. I'm actually have to have a board member to help me look for the grants. So we are always looking for, grants to start out, especially, when I'm starting a school right now. I have a proposal I'm sending to the state, hoping to get the state money. State money will start us help, hopefully, and then we could start building slowly with the school of acquisition property and so forth. So it takes time. Building a school, it takes a 5-year plan, almost 5 to 6 years that we have to work on in getting the funds and everything to start a school. So that's something that's an example.
Okay. So my planning is to have, like, in Upper Darby community, we don't have any community center where our aged people, like after 50, 60 can get together, sit together every day after, like at the old age home, something like that. And we don't have any funeral home here. So what you suggest for that? That's my planning. If we can have some kind of that, what kind of what you suggest for that? We want either one funeral home here in Upper Darby, like from Punjabi community, owned by Punjabi community, and a community center for old age. So you have some idea how to start that? What's the process for that?
Community center for old age. That's the one I'm working on as well with the Philadelphia Chinatown Corporation. We're trying to get another one. We have one in Chinatown. We're trying to get another one. It's not easy, but getting the community center for senior citizens, that's a priority for the national government as well as state. There are a lot of, I think that we need to give, definitely we have to go after foundations. Foundations are the start where you could get community centers. We are starting with, when we built the Crane in Chinatown, the Crane is a community center. We started with the bank foundations. So a lot of the bank foundations have contributed. We also look at other, Independence Blue Cross also contributed their foundation. Comcast Foundation, they supported a community center. So we need to start looking at big business corporation foundations that are in Philadelphia to build a community center, because they're willing to donate money for that kind of project. So what we need to do is, like I said, I will be glad to work with whoever wants to start. I'd be glad to be part of that discussion because I would love to have a community center in Upper Darby. I would love to have other things for the Punjabi community in Upper Darby. I would like to help you as much as I can. I would like to spend more time than doing that. But to start out with, we need to do a research on the area of where we're going to put the community center. We also need to research. There's a planning. We need to understand the city. The city might actually get some funding from the state to build a community center. So we need to talk to the city council representatives, the mayor, and other community members into supporting this idea because we need zoning, as well as, like I said, the banks. The foundations are the ones that will be glad to participate in those. Wells Fargo, TD Bank, Bank of America, a lot of these foundations, they love to hear community center. So we would need to apply for grants through all those foundations, as well as we have to start with our local municipality to get the state resources.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'm putting my email in the chat so that you could reach out to me.
Okay.
I'm putting my email in there so that if you have any questions for the next meeting, you can send it to me so I can research the questions. And I would love to, like I said, and I would love to work with everyone in the community. I would love to help build this community center as we did in Philadelphia Chinatown. We created a community center. It took several years, but it happened. So I would love to do the same thing in Upper Darby.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. And we will continue this session, and we will work more with Bryant Wong and Sunny, Swaranjit Singh, and all our experts. That's our goal, to share information with our community to grow together. And thanks again, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.